This is the Global Broadcasting Service, serving remote outposts since 1928.
Hi, everyone. Welcome aboard the Walt Disney World Express monorail.
Caramba, we have something really big for you today.
Welcome, foolish mortals.
Now then, hang on to them hats and glasses, because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
This is the DBC Pod with Phil Schoen and Jason Dodge. Hi, friends. Welcome to this week's pod. This is show for the week of March 9th, 2026. And this is what's going on in our Disney World. We have Pixar news. We're going to talk about the projects, as we kind of basically do every single week anyway. But we're going to talk about which ones we're most excited for. We had a little ranking going on in Discord. Phil, you have another pre-trip report for some reason.
Because I keep going to Disney.
Good for you. And then you're going to go over, somebody asked you, I think it was Wheezy, asked you your top 9 Disney parks that you have visited. So we're going to go through that, talk through it. But first, Phil, we got some news. Let's start with that Pixar stuff that I mentioned there a second ago.
So there was a Wall Street Journal interview or article based on an interview with Pete Docter, the head of Pixar right now, and he teased out in there a few points that got picked up by kind of social media all over the place. The first one is that it appears that a third Monsters, Inc. film is in development now. So it seems like they're definitely going back to the well again for sequels, because they seem to be doing well, I guess, or at least better than a lot of their originals of late. And I know somebody was joking, like, this movie is getting made completely on the sales of the Monsters U hats that they seem to sell. Everyone wants to grab.
That's basically it. Yeah.
So my one question for you about this is, I guess, are you interested in this? And if so, would you like them to do another prequel like they did, like go even further back or something like that? Or do you want them to go into the future, maybe pick up where the first one left off?
I don't think it really matters. I mean, it's been so long since the last one. I mean, you've had all the shorts or the cartoons and stuff like that kind of fills in a lot of the stories. I think what people just want is a good story. Yeah. Right. It's not like, this is a Marvel or Star Wars movie. We need to see the continuation. I mean, they're pretty simple stories. People and I love the characters. We just want to see more of the characters.
Yeah, it's the characters and the world building. So kind of anything that takes place there. Yeah. They have had the monsters at work, which are pretty entertaining, but obviously not the same as the feature films and stuff.
No. I mean, I guess we should have expected this because with the success of like Zootopia 2 and all these, Frozen's going to be coming out soon and next year, I guess, right?
Toy Story 5 and Coco 2.
Toy Story 5. Yeah. I'm just trying to I know I'm forgetting a big one. It's Toy Story 5. They make money. And you know what? When Disney movies make money, that means they're able to then go on and make originals that everybody wants, right? So the last couple originals did not do so well, so they have to go and start making more money again for the studio, and then they can go back to doing something new, which I think is the second point there, Phil, you might have.
Yep. So it does look like they are working on 2 originals. One is called Ono Ghost Market, which is a film inspired by Asian myths about supernatural bazaars where the living and the dead interact. So it feels like a little bit similar to Coco. I heard what somebody expressed, they think it might be a little creepier than in tone than Coco was, but that sounds interesting. Obviously, that clearly sets it up for some other really good world building and creating that universe.
Depends on the story.
Yeah, well, like everything, it always depends on the story. But
when I read that, like a lot of things came through my mind on this one. Was it really depends on what the art direction is on this, because I think a lot of the Pixar movies of the last half decade or so have all kind of been like samey almost. Yeah, fantastic animation, but the art style is, rounded nose, round eyes,
and
that
a big mouth,
and yeah. So I'm looking forward to something different. That I think that'll be kind of cool. And goodness, I like original stories, so I'm looking forward to it. I think I don't know. I always trust in Pixar. I mean, everybody's going to have their off projects, I guess, but they make so many good ones though.
And then the other one is that reports of the studio's first ever musical film, which is set to be directed by Domi Shi. Apologize if I'm saying her name wrong. She's the director of Turning Red. So I think that's interesting. They've obviously had films with music in them, like Coco and stuff like that, but that all the dialogue was still done, spoken, and they just had songs. This is going to be the first one that will actually be like an actual musical. So it'll be interesting to see how they pull that off.
All the big Disney movies have soundtracks that everybody can, glom onto with their
Absolutely. I
nostalgia
mean,
if it's a
it'll
good
be
movie,
just
right?
interesting to see like obviously Turning Red was a little bit. It had four towns, so it was more like poppy.
Mhm.
Obviously, like K-pop Demon Hunters has gotten so big, which is more poppy. So it'll be interesting to see if they go more in that direction, or if they do more like classic Disney princess, more like kind of Broadway style, or not. But I
Yeah,
guess we'll
well,
see.
it's be interesting. One thing I just kind of popped in my head is the Ono Ghost Market.
Yeah.
It seems like it's kind of like in a quote unquote strange land and all this other stuff. I wonder if it's going to have like elemental vibes to it a little bit. Like that's just like a different world, like a Zootopia. It's like a different world, but it's like creatures living in modern society, right? So it has that whole story. I hope it remains more mythical rather than like ghosts in whatever supernatural beings in like a current day setting. I hope they
Right.
kind of really lean into
Going
the
into that
ethos of it.
mythical
Yeah,
world.
exactly.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
don't need ghosts with pants, right? Right. I want something pretty cool. But I like this. The one thing that to me that's strange is have they announced? I know it was rumored, but have they announced another Cars movie?
I only saw that rumor. I don't think it has
It's
been
only a rumor,
announced.
right?
Yeah.
So I'm surprised that doesn't leak out because to me, you think Cars would be the next one up for like a really big sequel.
Yeah. Although it does make sense about, I don't know the exact timing of the one Monsters Inc. will come out, but they do have the Monstropolis Land opening, so there could be some cross promotion with that. Maybe the show will tie into the new movie or something.
I don't know. It depends on how long he's been working on it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's 2 years away. That's not that far when it comes
Right.
to
Animated movies take
making.
a long time. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
They got to slow down on the land. The movie's gonna
Easy.
take too long.
yeah. No, we want that door coaster coming up.
Yeah. And speaking of new originals, obviously this weekend Hoppers came out, which is their latest original movie. I see projections. It's estimated to make about $88 million globally opening weekend,
That's
which
not too
puts,
bad.
yeah, and that says that is the highest an original animated film has done since from the Pixar since Coco. Which is 2017. So it's I saw somebody was projecting like based on this and how long it goes, they think it could have a good second weekend because next weekend's a long weekend and it there's like not another family movie coming out yet. So they actually think it could have legs, and somebody was estimating as high as $600 million by the end of the run, which would be really good.
What did Elemental end up with? Wasn't it like 550 or something by the time it was
I think so.
opening
I
up?
think it got to 500 at least. I'd have to check the
I know it
exact
was a
amount.
5,
But
yeah.
it was very slow going. Like word of mouth kind of got it going, but it did end up doing pretty well.
Well, I know there wasn't really any, well, at least in my household and in my little neck of the woods, I haven't heard any major excitement for Hoppers. Like no one's talking about it. You're not seeing a lot of advertisements about it. But I see after this weekend a lot of good reviews about it. Like people are excited about it. I don't know if that's just people like, hey, go see the next Disney movie type of thing or Pixar movie and just kind of support that. But like,
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah, so
do a little non-spoilery.
Yeah,
review.
so we actually saw it. So I saw it with my two older kids. My wife didn't have interest in seeing it, and then my youngest got in kind of a mood today, and she was like, "Well, if mom's not going, I'm not going." I'm like, "Okay, well then you're
All
not
right.
going."
Fair enough.
So I just took my older two. The theater was pretty crowded. It was today's Sunday. Spoiler resort. We're recording a day early again, and the theater I'd say was about half full, maybe a little more than that. So it's pretty crowded for like a 1:30 showing on a Sunday. And people seemed to be into it. There was applause at the end. My two kids really liked it. My oldest daughter was like kind of teary eyed and crying at the end and saying she loved the movie and stuff. I had a different take. I wasn't crazy about it. I think it's just one of those where it's not a bad movie. It's just not for me. It was very kind of like the plot and storyline was a little cuckoo to me, and it was kind of like zany and wacky and fast. And like, I think it was just like maybe more for kids than for adults. It had some good messages in it. Obviously there is a lot similar to Avatar. They even talk about like keystone species and stuff like that, like you learn about it in Flight of Passage and stuff. So I think they were almost like doing it on purposely, but there's some good part. I was telling some people on Discord who were talking about it. One line I liked at one point, the girl goes, I'm just tired. I'm tired about caring about something that seems like nobody else cares about. And I feel like a lot of people can probably relate to that sentiment at some point in their life.
Sure.
So I think there's things in there people can relate to. It's just the comedy didn't work for me. Like it was like really kind of over the top and yelling. And I don't know. It felt like I don't know, but at the same time, I'm sure my parents were like, I don't understand why you find Ren and Stimpy funny when I was a kid. So it might just be one of those this might just be my old man yells at clouds moment or something like that. I don't know.
I mean, there was like I don't know if it was linked in Discord. I just came across it like on X, but like there was a scene where they're like, oh gosh, it was something like where they were making like they were trying to mimic a sound.
Yeah.
And just like 500 animals came up making the same like very annoying sound over and over again. And I'm like, people were talking literally what you just said, and it was just like, I can see that. I get annoyed when my son gets just a little bit too loud.
Yeah. So there was kind of a lot of moments like that like I heard a lot of laughter in the theater, but I was not one of those people. So I think it just wasn't for me. I thought the animation was really nice, especially like the background, like the scenes of nature and when they're like walking through grass and you see the grass moving and stuff. So I thought they did a good job with it. It's not for me, but it seems like a lot of people are liking it. So
yeah, I mean, I still haven't seen Zootopia 2. I know it comes on Disney Plus sometime this month, I think.
Yeah, pretty soon actually.
Right. So it takes a lot for me to go out to the movies and yank all the kids out and kind of do a whole family thing. This movie never looked like it because it didn't look like there was anything. I don't want to be rude. I want to say that there wasn't anything special about it. It just seemed like a really fun story that would be perfect for like a movie night at home.
I think it would be perfect for that. And it's like, I mean, it looks, like I said, it looks pretty on the big screen and stuff, but it's not like a Star Wars movie or something that like seeing it on the big screen makes a difference. Like, seeing it on your 60-inch TV or something at home, I think will be perfectly fine.
Not every movie needs to be a $1.2 billion extravaganza, right? Like if I'd be perfectly happy. Perfectly, what does it matter what I mean? But like, I think it would be nice if like we can get back to the point where like Pixar could put out a movie and it does $500 million and everybody's happy with that. It's not a massive smash success that's entered the cultural zeitgeist and changes how we, buy toys for our kids. But it's also not a flop where that narrative also is kind of in that direction as well. It was a fun movie. A lot of people enjoyed it, and let's get on to the next one. So I'd like to be more of that than one end of the spectrum or the other.
Exactly. Yep. All right. I had a number of quick hits, so we'll see how quick we actually are with them or if something creates a lot of conversation. First one is there's a lot of footage out there on the Disney Adventure, which is will be starting its full sailings out of Singapore soon. I think media is on there now. I've been following a lot of tweets from Scott Gustin, who apparently is on the ship, or maybe by now is off the ship. It looks very different than a lot of other Disney ships, has a lot of cool shows and stuff like that. I don't know. Were you following it? And I didn't know if anything jumped out about you, if that was like, I would be interested in going on this ship, or if it was kind of more of the same for you.
See, when it comes to cruise line stuff, I'm interested in cruises. My wife definitely isn't. So the chances that we do go on a cruise are quite low, especially a Disney cruise, like our first cruise being the most expensive one that we could possibly get, right? That might be difficult. But I do like looking at Disney Cruise Line because it gives you insight on how they can do, what they can do in the parks next, especially with all the major expansions coming up. And I was only paying cursory attention to Scott Gustin's tweets. That's the only media I consumed with this. And it was just like how amazing like the environments were, like the attention to detail, the colors, the styling of everything. Like do they call it, like the main promenade, or the big large open space?
Yeah, I think they usually call it the atrium.
Atrium, excuse me. Yes,
yeah.
I don't know anything. And usually when I look at cruise ships, you showed me one of several months ago as an example. They look like just like floating indoor malls, and like that has zero appeal to me, to be like, I just spent all this money and I'm walking around with a crowd of other people in a mall where maybe half the people are drunk or not. I don't know.
Probably not on Disney. They usually don't have drink packages, so that's
right.
Disney Cruise Line, but yeah.
But the Disney one, like looked like an environment that was like really fun and enjoyable to be in. Like it made me interested in learning more about the ship, right? Like it wasn't just like a mall. And I think a lot of it was quite beautiful. I have been following on with a chuckle that the Godfather, Robert Downey Jr. of the ship is like, we have that whole thing. Like I didn't know that was a thing. I thought that was kind of funny. But no, I think it just looked great. And I don't know. I really don't have any other impressions of it beyond that surface level.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting one because it looks really cool. Like there's a lot of unique things about it that are appealing, but it's also currently only sailing out of Singapore. So like the chances of me actually getting to Singapore and then paying for a Disney cruise on top of that is like pretty minimal. So maybe if it ever moves out of Asia, I'd think about it more. One thing when you mentioned about showing what is coming to the parks, one thing I did see is they do have a Monsters Inc. themed restaurant there. And so
you did post that on Discord.
I did. I did. Like I did comment at Scott. I was like, could this give us an idea of what's coming to the Harryhausen's restaurant that's supposed to be coming to Monstropolis in Hollywood Studios? And his response was, based on the prices, I hope not. So this, for those of you that don't know, for Disney Cruise Lines, the main dining rooms are rotational dining and they're all themed and stuff like that. And that's kind of one of their differentiators to other cruise lines. But they do have some specialty restaurants, things like Paolo and stuff like that on most of the cruise ships. But here, one of the specialty restaurants is a Monstropolis, a Monsters Inc. themed restaurant where they have like hibachi and sushi. I think there's 4 different types of areas. So that is an additional cost. And it sounds like it's quite a bit. I mean, from what I read on the restaurants, they have like Wagyu beef and like, it's an elevated experience. So, but it just made me think like, oh, like they can actually do like Asian themed or sushi type things for Monsters Inc. Maybe that's what we'll have, but I guess we'll find out. So that comment, it definitely looked like the restaurant in the movie.
I mean, somebody was talking about this within the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 months when we were talking about, maybe it was online, I was reading it, that people are like, why would they put a sushi restaurant in Hollywood Studios when you have one at Epcot, right? And was it Shikisai? And I forget what they actually call the hibachi section. I don't know if that's the same.
That's Teppanydo is the
hibachi, yeah. There you go. I don't know how busy it gets there. I never really look because it's not as much as I love it. I can have hibachi here at like a third of the price. Like
right.
There's nothing special about that. And I don't know if I want to spend like an hour and a half at a hibachi restaurant when I'm at Epcot. Like there's a lot of other things I would want to do. That being said, do we think that that's the style of restaurant that's going to go into Hollywood Studios? Like, because that's usually hibachi is a elongated dinner service.
Yeah, I don't know if it'd be hibachi. I could see, because in the movie it's not hibachi, it's sushi.
Right.
And so
but it's the same experience, right? Somebody's cooking in front of you and then
sushi could normally be you just sit at a table and order rolls and bring you rolls and stuff like that. So I think it could be an Asian themed restaurant and have sushi and some other things and that sort of thing. So I don't think it'll be hibachi. Like you said, it'll be a long experience. And if it's going to be themed in the new restaurant, I'm sure they'll want more turnover than that. So I definitely could see like sushi and Asian food beyond that, but I'd be surprised if it's hibachi.
Hollywood Studios needs better food like ASAP. So I'm really looking forward to like a better sit down experience.
And like you said, they have sushi and Asian elsewhere at Walt Disney World, but I don't think they have it at all at Hollywood Studios. So it would be a new.
No, that would be fantastic. I mean, like, you go Brown Derby or you go to any of the other slightly mediocre like places other than maybe Rodeo Roundup Barbecue, which not a good option for my family since my wife is vegetarian. Even though they do have options there, she doesn't want to be around a barbecue joint, right? And I just remember being in the park last year, and it's just like it was tough figuring out where to eat at Hollywood Studios because I'm like, let's just go to Galaxy's Edge because any of the food there is fantastic, but didn't really appeal to the kids. And it's just hamburgers and hot dogs at that point. Yeah. So no, I eagerly await Hollywood Studios with more dining options, and I can't wait to find out what's happening at Magic Kingdom as well.
Yep.
But we have no idea what's going on there anyway, so we'll see.
So next up is Disney did announce there's a free dining offer coming. They first came out because it's for Chase Visa holders. They were going to have early access to booking it, but then it's available to the general public. Seems like it's about the same basic terms as in the past. You have to book at least 4 nights. 4-night package with 4 days of park tickets or longer, and you have to have hoppers. Obviously, it's a non-discounted room, so like with every deal, you have to compare and contrast to what else is out there. I thought it was interesting, though, because normally in the past, free dining has been, initially it was always in the early fall to get people to book there, then it kind of shifted more to the summer, which was slow, but now it's for almost the rest of the year. It's from June 28th, these are for arrival dates, June 28th through October 3rd, then October 19th through October 31st, then December 6th through December 21st. So there's free dining all the way up to potentially staying there through Christmas.
Yep.
That kind of jumped out to me a little bit. So like I said, it's pretty much the specifics are the same as in the past. Staying at a value or moderate, you get a free quick service. Staying at deluxe, you get a free regular Disney dining plan. So did that jump out to you as well, Jason, the idea, the dates about it, or did anything else jump out at you about it, or did this not really get you?
Yeah, nothing jumped out at me at all. Only because last year, I think we had the same exact conversation because the dates are identical for the free dining for the second half of the year.
Is it?
Last year than this year, right? So I think all the dates are basically the same except they're shifted like one day over, essentially.
So it's
right
to start the same day of the week or whatever.
Week or
right?
something, exactly, yeah. I think Disney is still trying to get people into restaurants.
Yep.
They're still making money off of this, right? And I think they're getting people because I mean you basically have free dining tax, right? So people always want to be like, okay, we have the quick service meal. Any new guest, or maybe they're coming back for the first or second time with free dining, they're always looking at the Disney dining plan. That is the full dining plan with a quick with a sit down credit, quick service credit, snack, and a cup, versus the quick service, which is 2 quick service, a snack, and a cup, right? So the difference of the sit down meal. And to me, after doing the dining plan again last year, again, this was maybe the heat fatigue, and I was there for 8 nights. It was a very long stay. Those meals got tiring as we got on, right? Like, I know people say it's a lot of food. It's still not a lot of food, but it's just like, I don't want to go somewhere and just sit down with the whole family. Like,
when you're feeling like you have to do it because you have to.
Yeah, exactly. It got to the point where, like, again, we just wanted to like kind of do whatever we wanted to do, and the scheduling at the last couple of days was just kind of like, I ended up rescheduling Chefs de France like 3 times and just kept pushing it back another day. So I think people are sleeping on quick service and using that. But more importantly, I think we have to discuss, if anybody's never done it before, you realize most people don't go for hopper passes right off the bat. Like, you have to pay $90 a person to, for the length of your stay to upgrade. So if you're a family of 4, you're looking at what, $360,000? $360. That's a lot of food. $360 of an upcharge. And then you have to pay the difference between the quick service plan and the adult plan, which I believe is like $30 or $40 per person per night, right? So a family of 4, you're looking at an additional $160 a day just to upgrade it, right? You get the $60 a day for free, but then you're paying another $40 per person. To me, I mean, the whole free dining thing, I don't think it really makes sense unless you have a lot of people in your room. And that's basically, I think the break-even point was when you have like 5 or 6 people with you. But by the time you get to 6 people, you're in a different room type, and you're at a 1-bedroom or something else like that. And the rack rate discount might be more appropriate. Anyway, it's a problem for a spreadsheet to solve.
Yes.
And just do the math. I do look at, well, we've got a lot of new listeners to the show. Our show has been rising in downloads and everything else. So we appreciate that. Everybody out there that's a newcomer and new listener, please make sure you leave a 5-star review or like and subscribe on YouTube. It really helps us out. That I see a lot. Oh, it's the Disney dining plan. It happens on Reddit all the time. And you know me, I love a good dining plan discussion online. And one piece of advice I want to give everybody out there is you can go ahead and do a mock stay throughout your week. I do it all the time when I'm considering the dining plan. Is you have, let's say you go for a week, you have 6 nights, pick out 6 different sit down meals throughout the week where you might vaguely be staying, maybe at the resort that you're staying at. Pick 4 different parks that you might be going to. Pick another place at Disney Springs or something else like that. All the menus and the prices are online. You can go and find out exactly how much you would spend on it, total it up for your whole family, and see, would you be spending that much money anyway? And you can easily make that determination. So easy to solve. It's easy math. Disney is not hiding anything. So go in with your eyes wide open, I suppose.
Yep. And I always say it's more about how you eat versus what you eat.
Yes.
If this is like how you want to go, like you laid it out there, it's like we want to have a table service meal every single day, or we want to do 2 quick service meals every day, or we have 2 young kids and we want to do character meals all the time, and like this will fit into it. And now then it's great, and you can say to value or whatever, and it's probably better than the discount. But if you feel like this isn't how we want to eat, and when we eat, we like eating a lot of different appetizers versus like everyone gets an appetizer, entree, whatever. Like, think about how you eat as much as what you eat. And like, is this going to make you like have to change how you're going to eat just to fit into it? Maybe it's not worth it. So think about that too.
And especially you will not be able to you will save money. If you do not drink adult beverages at all, you will not save.
It's a lot harder. Yeah.
Because you're looking at each adult beverage is anywhere between $12 and $16, and Disney's charging you for that. And even though they say, okay, there's non-alcoholic beverages or specialty beverages on the menu, it's like a milkshake or like a fancy lemonade or something else like that. That's not worth the $10 that they have it on their menu. So just go in with your eyes wide open. But yeah, these dates don't surprise me. I wish that Disney would get away with the hopper tax on it. That might make it a little bit easier for some people to go on there and do things. Or maybe make it so if you do get the dining plan, you're allowed to go into any of the parks for free. They give you the free hopper pass, but after a certain time, right? We always talk about this. Like, why can't we have like a 4 p.m. or later or 6 p.m. later type of ticket? That might entice people. Disney would be smart to do if this is not actually working, and I'm assuming it is because Disney's CFO,
I still think people jump at it. They see this.
Oh, absolutely.
And they like how it's like basically makes it feel more all inclusive and stuff like that. So I think it does still work.
Well, I mean, the CFO of the Disney company just had an interview like a week or two ago, and he says like, basically our parks are full for the next year. Like he's not concerned about bringing people to the parks. Like whatever they're doing, maybe the spending levels are exactly the same, or actually they're increasing per person, right? So they don't need anything different to entice people to come and take advantage of these things. So as much as I would like to see different alternatives, I don't think I'm getting them anytime soon.
Well, you got yours with your 2 free days and stuff like that. I think that's probably
such an amazing thing. It's funny. Wheezy was like, "Hey, Jason, does this change anything for you?" I'm like, buddy, you don't even know my spreadsheets. Like, come on. Like, I had this already ready because I knew this was coming. Like, they're going to be doing free dining every single year until, it becomes 2019 again, and they don't need people coming to the parks anymore. So they probably, I bet you they don't do free dining when Villains Land opens.
Probably not. No, that's true.
They won't need anybody coming for that thing. Yep. They won't have to entice anybody. Everybody's going to be filling up the parks because of it.
And the last news item is just more of an FYI, but also thought it was interesting. On May 13th, if you're planning on being at Walt Disney World, Magic Kingdom will be closing early. I believe at around 5:30, all guests have to be out because there's a private buyout of the park. It is being done by SAP Sapphire and ASUG for their annual conference, is buying out the Magic Kingdom for that evening. And if that wasn't enough to get people to come down, they are having the Dave Matthews Band perform in front of Cinderella's Castle as part of the event. So I assume they will be required to play their song Rapunzel while they're there. But it did make me wonder, hey, did this catch your eye as well, Jason? And then if you were going to an event at Magic Kingdom, which band would you like to see play in front of Cinderella's Castle?
Oh man, like I'm not a big music fan, right? Like I've only gone to very limited concerts in my life. What music? I don't know. I don't think nothing comes to my mind that like, I think it'd be anything that's been like a top 10 band over the last 30 years that I actually know or like recognize would be cool. Just like it's a different experience. I just want my work just to open or close down Magic Kingdom so I can go in for a work event. Like I don't need to sit in front of the hub watching Dave Matthews Band. That would be cool though, actually. But SAP is a massive giant monster company that
they have their conference and it's all the people that use SAP are paying to be at the conference and stuff like that. So it's not quite the same as like, your personal company just buying out and inviting their employees for free. It's kind of part of a conference and stuff like that, but they've done other things in the past like this too, but it's still pretty ridiculous. Cool.
They have too much money to close Magic Kingdom.
I know. I was trying to look up like how much it costs to like close it down. I saw for like, if you wanted the whole day, meaning they don't have any day tickets, it's like between 10 and 15 million. But this is just the evening. So they're already getting like the day tickets in. So I think it's only maybe like a couple million or something like that. I did see though to get
for a company like SAP.
Yeah. And I did see to get Dave to play for you, the whole band is between 1.5 and 2 million. So they're paying a bit just for the band. So,
I mean, a company like SAP that rakes in billions of dollars for their software every single year, like what's $10 million to like fluff up their customers, their biggest clients.
But I thought that was fun. So that'll do it for the news. Do you want to hit up construction updates, Jason?
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't too much, right? There's continued speculation online. Jack from DSNY put out a video about Villains Land. He also summarized everything. I didn't have time to put them in the show notes, Phil, but like he did mention before we get to the actual construction updates that He also didn't think that Emperor's New Groove would be a roller coaster on there. He was very dubious about that.
Yeah.
He also said that like Hades, the only other thing that in his videos, he said like a evening show or a dinner show with Hades wouldn't work because people would be squatting in their seats, and which surprises me because I don't think it would actually. Like, we talked about this last week. We didn't actually think it'll be like there's a 4:00 show, a 5:00 show, or what have you. And the other thing, like, I haven't been there. You've been there multiple times already. They do a very good job circulating people in and out of like Beacon Barrel. Like you get your 45 minutes, you get in and out. I'm pretty sure if there's a Hades like show where it's a continuous entertainment throughout the whole process of the whole shift, that they could be like, okay, you have 1 hour to eat your food. If your food doesn't come within X amount of minutes, you will
they have ways of kind of like encouraging you to go out. They do that for Geo82 as well. It's not as hard fast as like Beacon Barrel, but it's like,
right,
all right, you've gotten your 2 drinks. It's, is there anything else, or else, let me get the check for you, that type of thing. And I mean, obviously, if it's super entertaining, people might want to stay a little more for Hades than like the Oompa band over at Oktoberfest. But people don't necessarily stick around there to see the next show of the Oompa band and stuff like that. So I get his concern that there could be some people that like it becomes a thing and they want to just see all the acts and stuff like that. But I also don't think they'd have 20 different shows. It'd probably be like 3 or 4 that once you see those, you've seen the shows, like that type of thing.
They'll probably do a good job where there's enough time in between the different shows that like it will hit like some part of your dining experience where you'll see the whole thing, where like once it's over, like, well, the next show is not for another 15 or 20 minutes. You're not going to sit there with like your check waiting, whatever, right? You're going to go. He did bring up a point though that would be pretty interesting, and we kind of talked about it too, is having like dueling, or actually 3 different type of dining places that draw attention, where you have Cinderella's Roller Table, which is the prime spot in the park. That now it has been ebbing a little bit, but you have the Beauty and the Beast castle.
Be Our Guest,
Be Our Guest. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. But Be Our Guest, like I still haven't gone to it as a prefix menu at this point. And then whatever the dining experience is, whether it is Hades like the rumors or something else, it's almost guaranteed to be something that's going to be on that level of at least for popularity.
Yeah,
and that might help spread crowds around a little bit too. So I'm really looking forward to see how they elevate Magic Kingdom food. We talked about food earlier with Harry Houston's, like Magic Kingdom. Like this is going to be I have no doubt that they're going to nail it out of the park, because every single new offering that they've put into place that's directly from Disney, not like Disney Springs or an Epcot restaurant or anything else like that, has been absolutely fantastic by all reviews. So I'm really looking forward to it. So
yeah, when you say that, the thing that comes to mind is Be Our Guest is going to have to step up their game, I think, a little bit. Like maybe they bring back the lunch or something.
Well, I mean, the issue with Be Our Guest is it was never designed to be a intimate, entertaining experience like that. I mean, lunch was a cafeteria. Like the main room is a giant cafeteria. It's loud and it's full. It's gorgeous inside, but it wasn't designed to be like a $70 dinner every single night. Because like dinner used to be like a $20 or $30 plate, and you would sit down and order like a normal sit down restaurant. Now it's did it hit $70 yet?
Oh, I think it's more than that.
Is it?
Yeah,
that's interesting. Last time, it's been a couple years since I looked, but I remember it being like $68 or something else like that for dinner.
Yeah, 72 for adult, 43 for child.
There you go. It is definitely not worth. I mean, the food might be good, but like it's not worth $72 whatsoever. And that's a shame, because I really love that. I'm dying for them to have like a breakfast offering. If they can offer like a prefix breakfast menu where it's $40 for adults and like $35 for a kid, I'd hop on that in a heartbeat.
Yep,
but we'll see. All right, construction updates. We did a little circuit. I can't even say that word. We've gone beaten around the bush enough. Magic Kingdom. So I only have like one update for Magic Kingdom, and that's Black Mickey and WDW Magic also reported that there's some permit amendments for the opening that leads to think that it's going to be a late spring opening. I think that's what we're all expecting, like basically opening like previews, AP previews, cast member previews, probably late, early May, and slowly build up into like a Memorial Day kind of opening, because they definitely want this park ready to go for the summer.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. They want to, as part of Cool Kids Summer and stuff like that. So, yep. I mean, I think there was some hope it might be earlier than that for like spring break and stuff like that, but it seems like it's going to be late May.
Yeah. I mean, there's still they're doing a lot of cement and walkway work on it
Yeah.
now. It's still kind of like, we have to wait for the next biopics to come out, but like the front area of that was completely demolished.
Yeah.
Wasn't there an image somebody took of like the entrance was kind of getting demoed a little bit too, a little somewhere?
Yeah. I think somewhere for the entrance, like the concrete around it was getting redone or something.
Yeah. I didn't put that in the construction updates, but they're reworking the entryway in there, so we'll see about that. In the Animal Kingdom, another permit. There's a permit for set elements and Encanto. So I don't know exactly what constitutes as a set element. It might be like staging. It might be just like putting in flooring or what have you. But things are going inside, or they're getting ready to put things inside that building.
I mean, I think this is the first thing for any of these new projects where it's been more than just the basic frame and stuff like that. So it's the first permit for actual like show scenes and stuff.
Yep. Looking forward to that. Over at Hollywood Studios, again, more permits for interior work at the show building, the former Muppets 3D show. A lot of work going on the outside. I don't really put all these kind of little things in these show notes, but if you go in and take some of the latest pictures, you can clearly see the outline of the new marquee that's going to go up there. They've been popping out the bricks. It's kind of doing a little bit in there. They're still not working. I don't think there's any work done on the ground out there, so there's no new cement, no anything else like that. They're just working on all the facades. And if you haven't seen it, reminder to go on BioReconstruct's Twitter website or his YouTube channel. I think he has a YouTube channel. Maybe not. In any case, I think he does. In any case, he has a lot of cool flyovers that show like different angles. So like he records constantly and he snaps pictures with his camera. So you get to see the whole, him zooming in and out. It's really cool. So definitely check that out. The only other update I had was, this is like a rumor of a rumor.
Oh, and you didn't highlight this one. I think it is new though, that they have painted flames on the car for Rock and Roller Coaster.
Oh, look at that. Yes.
So the one that's kind of hanging upside down from the entranceway sign, it's kind of like people were calling it flames, but it looks more like psychedelic swirl type things to me a little bit more. So it makes it look like that's what the car or the ride vehicles are going to look like.
My spreadsheet failed me. Yes. So like it looks like flames because it's kind of wavy, but like if you look at some of the things, it like you said, it's going to be like more tie-dye-ish type of like kind of stuff. And it's kind of funny. Like, you could see like paintbrush strokes on these things. Like, it's just like they kind of did a little bit, let it set, and they're going to do a little bit more. I think they're doing a little bit of testing and stuff like that on the surface, right? Because it is. I'm assuming it's a real. Wasn't it a real car that they hung upside down on there, or at least the shell of it? I think.
Yeah, maybe it's just the outside shell. Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. Yes, the last one is again. This is kind of like, I heard it from a bus driver, so to speak. So there was something in the permits for World Drive North that the opening is going to be delayed another 15 months. I don't know if this is a Disney thing. I don't know if this is like a county or town thing. But this is basically extension of World Drive, that kind of the main road that goes kind of around Grand Floridian. You take it, and that's how you get on to into the Polynesian, then the Grand Floridian, and then it drives out, right? So they're widening it. They're putting in a traffic circle. This is a space a lot of people are watching because it basically takes a larger sweep around the Magic Kingdom and the lagoon, and creating space and infrastructure for potentially new hotels and everything else like that. So that's probably where when Lakeshore Lodge is built and open and on sale, there's a good chance that they're going to put another hotel over there by the Grand Floridian. In any case, somebody on the forums kind of hinted at, like, again, this is a random person on the internet. This could be a complete troll job, whatever. But I thought it was interesting. He says, keep an eye on this space. This is a big deal when it's finally get done. So I don't know if this person's just kind of messing around or whatever. The only reason why I bring it up, because it aligns with my own personal beliefs, and I love being just.
Well, it also ties into like what Len Test has talked about too. Like they're not doing hundreds of millions of dollars of road work just to be nicer to the cast members getting into work. Like there's more to it than that. So whether it's a hotel, whether it's I don't know what else it could be like, but it's not just about the road.
Yeah, I mean the only thing that gets built over there that far out would be another hotel. There's no way that anything else would be built there. I mean, you can extend the park, but it would be closer to the park. This is a little bit farther away from the park. And I don't know if they're going to be expanding the park even further out beyond Big Thunder Mountain, so to speak, on that point. So it'd be interesting to see where that is in about 8 to 10 years, because that's probably where the time. Actually, let's see. Lakeshore Lodge is supposed to be open next year, right? 2027.
I believe so.
right? So we won't get a hint of what's to come there because they won't announce it at D23 because Disney never talks about DVC hotels that aren't open yet, let alone the one that comes after the one that's not open yet. So this might be a D23 2028 event kind of announcement, kind of something for over there. So yeah, I guess we'll see. But I think that's it. That's all the construction updates I have for this week. So perfect timing. So we're at 40. We thought this might be a quick show as usual, and now we're at 40 minutes, and we've got plenty more to talk about. Okay, so Lumpy compiled the responses of a question that was asked: which of the main 4 projects at Walt Disney World are you most excited for? And obviously, the only 4 answers are Tropical Americas, Villains, Monsters, or Piston Peak or Cars Land. So, Phil, how do you want to do this? Do we want to talk about how we rank ours and then go over what the community said? How do you want to go about this one?
Well, why don't we keep going with this and say, like, so what the community, a number of people answered, and like you said, Lumpy tallied it up. And for our group, it was a pretty clear winner. I'd say the people are most excited overall for Tropical Americas, followed by Villains, then Monsters, and then Piston Peak. But I think it was a pretty, it had the most number 1 answers, and it was kind of by pretty far and away the one that people were most excited for, and then Cars was by far the least one. The other 2 were kind of close. So
yeah. How would you rank this one? These for yourself?
So it's interesting. I'm probably overthinking it, like I do everything. Obviously, like the Cars and Villains, like as a construction project, that's the thing I'm the most interested in because it's going to totally change Magic Kingdom, right? And just following it. But if we look at them more as like in a vacuum, like which one am I most excited to like spend time in and that I think is going to be the coolest?
Yeah.
I might actually go for Monstropolis. I just think the land has the potential to be really cool with a show, a really cool concept for a roller coaster. I'm excited about Harryhausen's. It could just be like this kind of really complete small area that's totally new, totally unique. And I think that could be one that I could see myself wanting to go to the most often. So like kind of in a vacuum, I think I might say Monsters.
What would be your least one then if you're not going to rank all of them then?
I think it's it's hard for me not to say the Piston Peak. I mean, I'm still looking forward to it. It's not like I don't want. It's
no one's blaming you. Yeah, no one's coming after you for that.
But I just think the other 2 are more exciting for me, just because they're going to be more complete in what they do and stuff. And I think I'm interested in the one ride and how it looks. I think it could look really cool. But if I have to rank them, I would rank that one last.
Okay, which one was last?
I did Cars last, or Piston Peak last, and Monsters first.
Okay, so for me, obviously construction-wise, like you, more interested in Villains in Piston Peak because that is the most like in-your-face change to the parks, right? So that's massive. I like for me, Tropical Americas is probably the one I'm looking forward to the most. Animal Kingdom is, I think, the most beautiful out of all the 4 parks down there. And I don't think many people would come after me for that opinion.
No, I don't
Most
think
people
so.
will probably share that opinion for that park. And I'm really curious what that land is going to do for that side of the park. Because that side of the park always needed something.
Yep.
However, I am not at least excited about Tropical Americas because I don't want that park to become busier than it already is. So there's like some operational concerns I have. Like my park that I like going to in the morning might be like last time we went, like the morning that we went to Animal Kingdom. It was like one day it was nice. The next day it was just jammed packed with people. And that's not a pleasant park to be in when it's like super busy. Like in Magic Kingdom, if it's super busy and you're there, you're expecting it. It's a lot of concrete. It's like
there's usually still some rides you can find with low weights or whatever. Like,
And like Animal Kingdom is not a good park for high capacity crowds because there's like when you're trying to eat, there's nowhere to sit and eat and relax. There's a lot of fantastic places to do that, but they fill up very quickly. And that's my issue with the park. So I'm looking forward to Tropical Americas the most and the least. And I think my next one would be Villains. Mostly because of I'm really excited to see what they do operationally for nighttime viewing of Happily Ever After or whatever show is there in 3 or 4 years. Because I'm excited to see something different in that park. I've now watched Happily Ever After in any number of different angles the last couple of times I went because I do not want to be in the main street or in the hub at all when this thing is playing. So I'm really looking forward to what that does to the park as far as spreading people out. Monsters, like I could put Monsters on number one because I think that's going to have the best ride out of all four of these areas, probably. Indy might be a close second, but like that door coaster just looks like a totally new experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Indiana Jones, probably fantastic storytelling. We Blog Mickey put out an article of what he saw at that Mayan conference that Len Testa said he was under NDA, or they told everybody not to take pictures and notes. Blog Mickey took notes, but not specific notes, and he kind of went on about he kind of wiggled his way around how to write in that. But I think half that article was actually written by AI, to be honest with you. I'm it's going to be great storytelling, but it's a ride vehicle I've already been on. It's just going to get
and they have the Indy ride in California, which even if it's different, it's still similar.
But that door coaster, man, that thing looks absolutely like bonkers, being like lifted straight up and then through and it looks like a massive show building too. Like it's like it's bigger or it's smaller than Guardians of the Galaxy, right? By a decent amount, like 10% or so. I think that number
around there. Yeah.
But it's just not going to be a roller coaster that just kind of goes around and around and around with different in the dark with different stuff, right? Like this is a visual roller coaster. So I'm really excited to see what they do in the storytelling wise, because they're going to put all that effort in. It's not going to be something where you're going to be racing through like Rock and Roller Coaster and like you see nothing. Like it's just you're there for the thrill of like,
No, they talked about they want you to be able to see the other vehicles going around and stuff, and seriously doors, and who knows if it even stops at points or it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Piston Peak. I'm not looking forward to any of those attractions on there, unless they pull a rabbit out of their hat and like the actual main attraction for Piston Peak is like something that's never been done before, technology wise. That's the only way I'll get excited. If they reveal that it's like there are autonomously driven vehicles that are going off the path and doing something really cool, I'm like, I am now excited by that. But they're definitely not doing that. Right. And so it's just going to be another like track or trackless car ride that's being guided by something else and whatever test track type of thing. And it's going to be great. It's going to be beautiful, but it's not like I'm not stoked like that.
Yeah, no, that's understandable.
I don't know if I actually ranked them, but you know what? I'm going to leave that to your imagination, which one I really believe is number 1 through 4. So, yeah. I again, nothing really surprised me out of this one, but I think it was a cool little experiment to see where people's heads were at.
Yep, I agree.
All right, so you've been to 9 Disney parks, Phil.
Yes,
that's a lot.
Yeah, it is. Not all of them yet, so I still have some to go. But yeah, now after going to the 2 parks in Paris, I've now been to 9. So obviously all 4 in Florida, 2 in California, 2 in Paris, and 1 in Hong Kong. So Wheezy asked me how I would rank them based on that. So I thought I would put that together and give a little bit of explanation about my thinking. I would give the little caveats, like some of them, like obviously Paris and Hong Kong and stuff, I've only been to once. So having a good day or a bad day could influence my view of them. Some I haven't been to in a while. So they've made changes and stuff in them. So everything's going to be based on my personal experience at them. I did try not to weigh things too much like bad weather or something like that, because that's not really in Disney's control. And I am viewing these in isolation. So I'm saying like if this individual park kind of on its own, I'm not factoring in that it has other parks near it or how close hotels are to it and stuff like that. I'm just looking at it from the park itself.
So you're judging it based the moment you cross the threshold from the tap in and beyond.
Yeah. Or as you're walking up to it and stuff. But the idea is, and like if you're visiting and just going to this park, not that this is one park and then you're hopping to something else or whatever like that. Like you're going to this park. So I would rank them. I guess I'll start at the top because it's no surprise that my favorite is still Epcot. It would take a lot for something to probably dethrone that or whatever. But
okay, well, let's stop right there. Yeah. What would it take for a park to dethrone Epcot? That's a very good. I think that's more interesting than ranking the next 8 parks right here.
It's interesting. I could say if they really nail it with Villains Land and Piston Peak and really use that to help with crowd control and stuff like that and make it a much smoother experience, then maybe I could see Magic Kingdom overtaking it of the existing parks. I also I haven't been to the Japan parks, so I mean maybe Disney Sea when I get there will overtake Epcot. I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to think.
Well, here's the thing. So like Epcot's your favorite because you have nostalgia tied into it.
Sure.
You've got the classic music that's been there forever in different forms. You've got, the food and the entertainment and the classic rides and all the things that
It's just
like,
what it represents as part of the Florida project. And,
right. There's history involved.
Yeah.
Like, can a new park ever top out Epcot, or do you have to go to a park for 20 years before it gets better than Epcot?
That's probably what it would take. I mean, it probably would take something like that. Like I said, something like totally revitalizing the Magic Kingdom with the crowd flow. And so you still have all those nostalgia, but you have new things. And maybe if Epcot just, they stop working on it, it goes back to like being awful, or the Sea of Walls or something. I don't know. There's so much nostalgia tied to it that it's going to be hard for something to
Can
pass
they,
that.
in order to top Epcot, does it have to be a combination of attractions and like other things to do that aren't waiting in line for more attractions?
Yes, absolutely. And that, I mean, maybe think about maybe if they fully built out Animal Kingdom with like a Lion King area and more Avatar and stuff like that, so that it was tons of stuff to walk around and see, and had nighttime shows and all sorts of stuff like that. Maybe that could give some of the vibes. I don't know, but it is like I can go to Epcot and not go on a single ride and be happy.
Let me throw out something to you. Okay, the year is 2036. Right? It's been 10 years, right?
Yeah.
Animal Kingdom now has a third attraction at Pandora. It has a fully fleshed out Lion King area, let's say similar to what they're designed for over in Paris. The area between Everest and Tropical America, let's say they demo the Nemo building. Probably won't ever do that, but let's say they do. They fill in that whole gap there, right? And they replicate what's in Africa, because Africa is the best section of the park. It's got bars, restaurants, and food and entertainment. Let's say they duplicate one, maybe two areas similar to that in that area. Maybe Cali River Rapids kind of goes away, or they fill in the area between Cali and the conservation station, whatever it might be, right?
Yeah.
That back arc of the park gets filled in with entertainment, food, let's say an additional land back there too, on top of Lion King, which would probably be, opposite side of the center of the Tree of Life. And then we get a nighttime show, whatever that might be. It's in the bowl in the center of the park, in the amphitheater. And there is so much food and entertainment around it that all the areas start coming alive with just music and performers. And they have food booths where you can grab a drink in the early evening and make your way into there for whatever they plan on doing. With that vision, as amazing as I just described it, would that compete for Epcot?
I think the way you worded it, that would compete. I think the way you described it, because that's been my second, outside of Epcot, my favorite like sort of vibe experience thing has been when Animal Kingdom was open late and they had performers around and you could grab an adult beverage and just wander and stuff like that. So if they built out the whole park, like fully fleshed it out attraction wise and added to that vibe, I think that would compete with Epcot. It wouldn't have the nostalgia, so I can't say that it would pass it, but I think it would compete with it.
Because the funny thing is, it's, I started off my Disney fandom with Magic Kingdom being my favorite park, right? Because that's where the nostalgia hit me the most, right? I hadn't been to that park for 20-ish years, 25 years. And then as an adult with my own kids, the nostalgia crashed back in my own head, and then building up traditions and stuff with my children over the years. But as I've gone more and more to those parks, it's slowly gone down because that park has become more like mechanical. Like you go there to check the boxes. Like I got to go get my injection of nostalgia being in front of the castle. I've got to go on Pirates, my favorite ride anyway. And it's like, but you go there, you're competing with other people to do the same thing.
No, that's
the
a good
only
way
time
of
I
putting
get
it.
and I only get a chill vibe there. Like I say, when my wife and I go in, and we were able to sit in front of Casey's and have a cup of coffee and, a Danish from Starbucks and kind of sit there and enjoy Magic Kingdom. And it only lasts until about 10:30, 11 o'clock anyway, right? So that's slowly been coming down my list. And I always thought maybe Epcot would pick it up. I thought maybe Hollywood Studios, as much as I hate walking around that park, it still has Star Wars, and I'm still the biggest Star Wars nerd on my own mind. And I always thought Animal Kingdom was my least favorite park because it had the least amount of attractions. And this is going back a decade ago, right?
Yep.
But over the years, building new family memories, like even now, Animal Kingdom is my favorite park. It's got to the point now where not only is it favorite because of the music and the environment and, not so much the attractions, but like, it's just a beautiful park and this is only coming to me now as I think about it, is like, I have now nostalgic moments in that park that just reinforce the same thing with you with Epcot or others with Magic Kingdom. And I'm just thinking about it now, and it's just like, you're right. If like we continue our family tradition of going every other year or every year, that type of thing, I think Animal Kingdom might turn into be a place where I look forward to most. I mean, we're going to Animal Kingdom Lodge. I love the music and the themes of everything, or the theme music of everything. That I could see that going on. So I hope Josh Damar is listening to our podcast, because
I'm sure
obviously tens of thousands of people listen to this podcast every single week. And it's definitely going to get to his ears. I would love for like Animal Kingdom to get fully fleshed out. So like the center of that amphitheater is almost kind of like a World Showcase Lagoon, and it kind of fills in. Anyway, we're ranking all 9 parks, and we only are at number 1. What's number 2, Phil?
So number 2, I'm going to put Hong Kong Disneyland. Obviously, only been there once, but I absolutely loved it. It was so well put together, so clean. Everyone was so friendly, and it has some amazing, unique attractions with the Grizzly minecart and with Mystic Manor and Mystic Point, and they're only adding to it since then. They've added Frozen and stuff like that. So I think it's a small park. It's beautifully situated with mountains behind it and stuff like that, and it's just well organized. The crowds were low. It had Paint the Night when I was there as a nighttime parade. A lot of unique characters and stuff like that. So to me, if it was like the most fun I've ever had in a castle park.
I'm just typing in. They're celebrating what anniversary now? Is it 10 or 20 years?
25, I think. I know Shanghai's doing 10. I think
Shanghai is what I was thinking about with 10. Never mind, because I was thinking.
I think Hong Kong just did 25 like last year or something like that.
Gotcha. I knew one of the I couldn't think of it, but Shanghai obviously is the one that Iger opened up. That's the next one. They're doing the 10-year one. Okay, never mind. Go ahead. Sorry. I think Hong Kong and then Shanghai are the 2 newest parks that Disney's opened.
Yes,
and I don't know. I can see why. I can't answer whether it deserves to be number 2 on your list, because I mean obviously it's your list, but I can't argue about it, or I can't wonder why. It's just a park that you've never been to, and never been to before that. You've only been once. It's very hard to see how you would get back over there again in the current world environment right now. Every time I've looked at it, it looks like a pretty park. It's interesting because that's the one that has. No, I'm thinking of Shanghai. I get it mixed up all the time. Never mind. Keep going. I'm sorry. I'm babbling.
Then I'm going to put Disneyland Paris, the main park there.
Okay.
Again, I had some challenges with the crowd and the smoking and stuff like that, so I'm trying not to overweight that too much. But just the way they designed the park, it's like they learned so many lessons from the other castle parks and improved upon them and plus them and stuff like that. So if I had sort of like the perfect day there, I think it might be the best castle park to be in. It has the beautiful castle with the dragon underneath and stuff like that. It's just kind of like I said, everything they learned from the other ones, they improved on it without being totally different. Like Shanghai's totally different, like that type of thing. After that, I would go for the original park, Disneyland. Just the classic. They keep it up well. I mean, it's hard not to get a tear in your eye when you look up and you see the light on in Walt's apartment and stuff like that. I haven't been there since they added Galaxy's Edge and stuff, but I think they has some unique rides there, some better versions of rides than at Florida. So I think the OG gets some respect that way. I did have some challenges there as well. I think some of the pathways are very narrow, and it can be a little challenging to get from like one part to the other part of the parks and stuff like that. So it's not perfect, but there's obviously a lot of history there. After that, I think I'm going to go Animal Kingdom.
Okay.
For a lot of the reasons you said. I think it needs work, but I think at its peak, it's an amazing park. And like I said, it's probably some of the best vibes I had there when it was open later and stuff like that. So I think some of this is maybe ranking it a little on potential, but I think it's a great park. It's probably, like you said, the most beautiful park, and it has some amazing attractions. So
we wouldn't be Disney adults and Disney fanatics if we didn't lean into the hopeful and the future, right?
Yeah.
Do you think, let me ask you this, what's next for Animal Kingdom after Encanto? I'm not asking you to say the IP or the theme or whatever. Would it be a Pandora extension? Would it be a Lion King area, or would it be a completely new land somewhere? What do you think? What direction do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think hopefully with the Encanto and stuff, they start adding they can keep the park open later, and that's when they add the nighttime show and stuff like that, and they start building out those little things to it. I guess we'll see how things go with Bluey and stuff in the back, if that makes them want to be like, oh crap, we have to like improve infrastructure to get back to that area or something like that. But I think it's going to be the Lion King area. I think that's going to be the next thing they do. If I had to, bet
That's the easiest thing to do because they're already building it, right?
And it fits so perfectly. And
oh yeah, gosh, yes. Going back to the Bluey thing, like I don't know, a year or two ago, my kids were really into Bluey and they watched it, and then they kind of moved on to other things as they kind of worked their way through all the episodes. And within the last month, I think I brought this up already. Or 2 months, they've been watching Bluey every single day. Right. Yeah. Like it's the perfect kid show where
it's almost like the kids version of The Office, where you can like watch the episodes like over and over again. And it doesn't matter which one you pick up on or whatever, where you jump in, you can enjoy it. Yeah.
And my kids are always excited to go to Disney. Right. And my youngest, she's not a Disney fan yet. Like my oldest, she does watch TPM vids and comes up with like Disney facts about the parks to kind of show off to me every once in a while. So I'm proud of her for that. But she's not like obsessed with going to Disney like I am, or my oldest daughter is yet. She's still young. She's only 8. However, when I mentioned that Bluey was going to be at Animal Kingdom, she went off her rocker with excitement. She started it was like when I announced like we're going to Disney World together, like yay, Bluey's going to be there, and it was just an eruption of like excitement. So Disney needs to do something with like theme park like rights to get something there with Bluey, because like that would be a massive hit.
I'm really interested. I mean, I'm fully hoping it's open for when you go, and that you get to see it. But like, I don't know how it's going to work with all the train getting out there and stuff like that. I'm afraid it's going to be a little bit of a logistic.
It better be open, just because it's in the middle of the summer and Cool Kids Summer. It has to be open at this point, right? I mean, they're not really doing much over there.
Yeah, no, I fully expect Bluey to be open. Like I think we talked about this. Like the full Animation Academy might not be, but I think Bluey will be open for you. But
the Animation Academy is probably not going to be open.
Yeah. So, all right. Tangents again. I think then I'll go Magic Kingdom. It's still like, as much as we kind of complain about like the challenges with the crowds and stuff like that, it still gives you all the feels. It's still like an amazing park, and it's huge and has crazy good fireworks shows and nighttime shows.
It's funny because no matter what, if I was with my kids hustling behind Cinderella's castle as Happily Ever After was going on, as we were running from Haunted Mansion all the way over to Space Mountain, you still get these like crazy, like you're at Magic Kingdom vibes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can't beat it. Like even you with an Epcot fan, like there's just certain things that you cannot or you can't get better than being at the Magic Kingdom at certain points of the day.
I agree. And like, I mean, we thought about this all last trip before we decided to get the hoppers so we could get to every park. But we were like, if we just do that deal with like the 3 days not going to Magic Kingdom, are we good with that? Because it's like, there's things we like at every other park, probably more than Magic Kingdom. But it's like to think of doing a Disney trip and not going to Magic Kingdom at least once seems like sacrilegious or something.
Yeah,
like,
you can't do it. You can't do it. Unless it's a down and back, you can't.
Right. Like, yeah, obviously if you're just going for one specific thing, sure. Then I'll go Hollywood Studios. Obviously, we know some of the challenges it has, but again, it has Galaxy's Edge. It has some great rides. I love the front of the park in Echo Lake, the theming there and stuff like that. It has Fantasmic. There's still tons of great things going for it. It's also probably another park that 10 years down the road will probably be a lot better, hopefully, but we shall see.
Okay, let me give you another question. At what year, or what has to happen first, pick either way to answer, does Hollywood Studios get renamed to something else?
Ooh.
So I'm almost positive it will get a new name.
It definitely will get a new name. I think it's whatever replaces the Animation Academy. Whenever they do that big project back there, I think that'll be when they do it. I don't think Monstropolis is enough to change it.
No.
So I think it's the next big thing.
All right, I have a backup question.
So what year will that be? I would say 2033 or 34.
Something like that. Yeah, no, you're down. It's 8 years from now. It's 5 years plus the construction of a new land type of thing, right?
Yeah.
Does the Chinese theater survive that change of theme?
Ooh, that's a good question. My initial answer is to say yes, but they might want to change it. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if because I guess it kind of ties in still with a little bit with the Mickey and Minnie's, but I don't know. Maybe they do retheme it. I mean, they changed things out when they redid California Adventure and stuff like that. So maybe they do retheme it. I don't know.
Because
my gut reaction was it stays, but the more I think about it, I'm not so sure.
if they could rip out Rivers of America, remember again,
Yeah,
we had
it's
when
true.
we had Len Tester on our show like 4 years ago, we talked about this. It's like, oh, they'll never get rid of it. And if they do, it'll be something big. Well, here you go. That park does not have an identity anymore. I think they're building towards an identity.
Yep.
The weenie for that park, or the icon for that park, is Tower of Terror, which shouldn't be the park weenie, even though it's just the tallest building there. That's why they picked it, right? That center courtyard is so underutilized, right? Because the fireworks shows in Fantasmic, right?
Yeah.
They used to have some projection fireworks shows there. They do sometimes. I don't think they have projections.
Yeah, they have the
projections every night.
They do the Magic of Disney Animation or whatever it's called. I think they do that every night, but it's a small projection show.
Yeah.
It's no big deal. It's not like back when they had the Star Wars show or anything.
So what about this? They demolished the front of the Chinese theater. It's ugly anyway. It's like this style where it has the walls that come up and around. It's
a little awkward. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very awkward. They don't do like the Hollywood handprints and all this other stuff anymore, right? Like that whole facade from like the 90s and the early 2000s is completely gone, right? They don't do that anymore. You can easily change the Mickey Minnie Runaway Railway facade. Like that Chinese theater has nothing to do with it other than it's just a show.
It's in a movie theater. Yeah. Like you're going there to see the screening of a show. That's all. So
So they can change that completely. They have enough room where they can build out the front of that building to have whatever they choose the weenie to be, and then have like a side entrance or something similar to like the walkthrough experience you have at, Disneyland Paris, where like you have a side entrance, like the ride happens to be in the weenie of the park. And the building that it's in is just a square building. So they have plenty of room to kind of build up stuff on top of that, whatever, assuming it can hold the weight and stuff like that. So, I think that'd be a bonus, awesome thing to do for that. But that would completely revitalize the park, I think.
Yeah, I mean, assuming they retheme it, like the whole concept of the park, and that fits in well, I think that could revitalize it. Sure.
Yeah. What's number 8?
Number 8.
Go on past an hour.
Yeah, I quickly had done this in Discord. I think I might be tweaking some of these. I know this is one of them. Number 8. I'm going to put DCA. I did not have a good experience in DCA, but part of it was this was 10 years ago before they made a lot of the changes they've made. We had some little kids that there weren't enough rides for them to go on. It was like kiddie rides or adult rides. And so I think I'm letting that give me bias too much because there are some, I mean, Cars Land on its own is amazing, right? And like Grizzly River Run is like, that's a beautiful area and stuff like that. So I think for me to put that last wouldn't be fair, even though we maybe had some challenges with it. And obviously they're working on it now. They're adding to it. I think it's going to be a nice park when it's done. So, but it's still, compared to the others, I think it's definitely lacking. And then for my 9-1 is the Disney Studios Park, which will be a Disney Adventure World in Paris. It's just a mess of a park now. Crush's Coaster is good, and you have the Avengers Campus is kind of good. Not a lot of food options and stuff like that. It's a mess of a park, and even adding this new stuff, like it's going to change the park a lot because it's going to add this whole central area, new lake and stuff like that. But they're not adding a ton of rides. Like it's obviously going to be a lot better, but I don't think it's going to like become like the best park in the world or anything like that. Once these changes are done. So
I mean, that's the problem with when Disney. I'm not gonna say that goes cheap, but they start small. It's hard.
Oh, they went cheap on this park for sure.
Well, yeah. But like I'm saying, like when you do that. Like Hollywood Studios, like they didn't design this park to make a great park. They designed this park to come out before Universal Studios, right? Sure. And they chased that idea,
and they weren't thinking about future expansion or anything like that.
So that park is suffering for it, and I think this is the same thing over here because it's the same idea, right? So I'm really curious to see how this looks. I think they're on the right direction, but it's going to be something like, hey, we need to do this, then we need to do that, and then 4 more projects before it becomes like this crazy good thing.
Yep.
So
agreed.
I don't disagree with your top 9 list or your ordered 9 list. I'm not surprised that Animal Kingdom is over Magic Kingdom. DCA, I think that's a lot of people would say that, but I mean, like you can't take like Radiator Springs and just take that in isolation. You have to consider the whole park, right? But At least TCA has considered one of the best lands of any of the parks inside of it. I guess that what makes it number.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe if I had
right?
better experiences with it, I could move it above Hollywood Studios or something. But I think I personally couldn't get it above 8.
Yeah, it's fine. I like it. All right, so we have to do this. We don't have time for your pre-trip report. When do you go down, by the way?
I leave Tuesday.
Oh,